I'm Stephanie Olivieri. I was born and raised in this area, born in Tahoe City, raised in Truckee, and I am third generation to own Cabonas, downtown Truckee. And along with one of my dear business friends from the street, Jim Walker, I helped start the Truckee Downtown Merchants Association 50 years ago. And over those years, I think we've accomplished many wonderful things for downtown Truckee and for the businesses here and for the community. Downtown has become, once again, the central core of our community and a gathering place for the people of the community. It's been improved, new sidewalks, lighting, streetscape, trees, many events, and all of those brought to you by the wonderful Downtown Merchants Association. So I'm very proud of what the merchants have accomplished over the years, and I'm hoping that we have made the community proud of our downtown.
Hey everybody, it's Chelsea. We're downtown right now on Commercial Row, my favorite place to be in Truckee. In fact, my earliest memories are of downtown Truckee. Whether I was buying candy at the variety store, looking for Portuguese Frank, or sneaking into Erskine's to look at dirty cards. My life's work has literally been downtown. My first job was at the Cookery, a really cool deli, where I was a soda jerk. It's the White Buffalo now. I worked in many stores downtown, Erskine's, the Long Ranch. I worked in other buildings downtown that weren't retail. The Richardson House, where I was greeting guests with fresh baked cookies. Downtown is really where I love to be. It's where my life's work is. When the merchants asked me to run Truckee Thursdays, it was really a match made in heaven, bringing people down to my favorite place, exposing them to the wonders of historic downtown Truckee, and rejuvenating an interest in coming down, meeting friends, having fun. That's really what this place is about, right? Happy birthday, TDMA. 50 years, you'll always be older than me.
Right. I'm Bob French, and according to this plaque, I was president of the Merchants Association 1985 to 1986, and a member of the board of directors from 1984 to 1985. We had a group come from the Rec and Park District, and they had looked into getting fireworks started for Truckee. But the Rec and Park District didn't want to assume the liability for it, and so they came and asked us if we wanted to do it. And I, along with Cliff Hartwell, raised my hand and said, yeah, I'd love to do the fireworks. So we didn't have the money sitting around. We had to raise it somehow. And one of the things that we did was we put on a street dance. We closed down the street between the Bar of America and the Truckee Hotel, and we would frequently have a country band come in, and we would line the street, the dance area, with bales of hay, and we would raise a significant portion of the money that we used to pay for the fireworks. Another thing that I think is great is the Truckee Thursdays. I think that's been a real fun thing. Brings people into the downtown corridor. Hopefully the businesses there get some of the business that's being conducted on Thursday evenings, but it's become a focal point. The downtown area is now a real focal point for the community, what with the music there, what with the food trucks, and the various merchants that are there. I think it's a wonderful thing. We used to meet upstairs at OB's board on the second floor, and yeah, some tremendous memories there with Mike Lynette and Dick Howell and her Huskies and Davidsons and Stephanie and the whole crew.
I am Mike Blyde, and I have been a Truckee resident for over 30 years now. I originally came here in the mid-'80s to be in the marketing department at North Star Ski Area. And then carousing around, I happened to come into what was then Cottonwood Restaurant and fall in love with the owner. And long story short, I ran this restaurant for about 20 years after meeting my wife Jennifer. One of my fondest memories of downtown Truckee is the view of it from here, which we call fondly Uptown Truckee. And if you can imagine a mid-December day and you're in here at sunset having a little dinner and a glass of wine, and the first snow of the year starts falling, and the view out these windows in the dining room is just absolutely spectacular. It's magical. It's the kind of experience that we always thought we should have charged a little extra for, but never did. The end.
Hi, my name is Tony Lashbrook. I moved here with my family 25 years ago. I was hired at that time to be Truckee's first planning director right after incorporation. Right before I moved to Truckee, the Masonic Lodge in downtown on Commercial Row blew up. So that was an interesting introduction to the importance of downtown. And I was convinced that protecting and enhancing downtown Truckee was critical to the long-term economic success of Truckee as a community, particularly as villages were being developed in North Star and Squaw Valley, etc. And I think to this day, it is the iconic destination in the region. Obviously, one of the things that's very significant about downtown Truckee is its history. And in fact, the town partnered with the downtown merchants in recognizing its importance in creating a National Register Historic District covering all of downtown. But also, there were businesses here even 25 years ago that have now since moved on, and OB's was one of those. And you'd probably be surprised how many important town decisions, not in the area of land use, but for instance, working with the Union Pacific Railroad in terms of how to deal with the merger and the increase in train traffic. We actually brainstormed the idea of the MacGyver crossing, the undercrossing, and the ability to get across the tracks with Union Pacific staff in OB's one late evening.
Ted Owens. I moved to Truckee 30 years ago actually this year, but my relationship with Truckee goes back further than that. My family had a cabin over the lake, and we'd passed through Truckee, and I recall one thing, that the first bar that I ever went to and had a beer was the B of A with my dad when I was 16, because it really didn't matter back then too much. You just kept your head down. But I stayed for 30 years here in the region. I have great memories of Truckee back in those days. It was much smaller. OB's board was a great place where everybody gathered, and the Pray for Snow parties that used to be held there back in the day. I remember that the 4th of July parade was put on by locals, for locals, and the tea club was selling Bloody Marys right out the window. The downtown merchants got together and created the Truckee Follies as a fundraiser to do every other year. A community opportunity to parody itself, to laugh at itself, and to raise money that would be used downtown for beautification projects. It paid for all the flowers and the color and what have you that you'll see in the planters downtown. And it served a great purpose, and everybody was willing to do their part and put on a great show and raise money for the downtown. If you weren't parodied in the Follies, if you weren't picked out and made fun of, it was almost an insult in this town. And I don't know of any other community, any other place where people can really look inward, laugh at themselves, laugh at each other, and even more importantly, to see kind of political enemies that are in the show together put their swords down. I'll never forget one night we had Tom Watson and Stephanie Olivieri kiss, and people said it couldn't be done, but we proved that it could.
Downtown Truckee's history is one of those places that attracts tourists. It attracts locals' interests. There's a lot going on between that connection that travelers and locals have that are a connection to the history and the past, and it is alive and well in downtown Truckee. Those old buildings give us a sense of where Truckee has come from. Even the railroad and the trains coming through might be a traffic block, but it's kind of a pause to reflect on, the East and the West got connected through the railroad, not at Promontory Point in Utah, but right here on the summit. When they finished that put Truckee on the map. All the mining camps and the buildings that housed everybody was located right in downtown Truckee, and it was the community that fed the crews for the railroad to the logging camps. It was the center hub, and hasn't really changed much today. Truckee has become the center. It's the hub. Downtown Truckee's historical value lives on. It keeps making history. So it's pretty inspiring. It's one of those places where some towns and downtowns change, they move outside of town, development sprawls take over, but Truckee's downtown will stay because it's so unique and it's so memorable that it's not going to go away. It'll only get steeped in its long history and live on in everybody's hearts and minds.
Hi, I'm Ruth Garrissey with the Truckee Chamber of Commerce and manager of the California Welcome Center. We are located in the train depot, which was rebuilt in 1900, and we are part of the historical downtown district. We work closely with the Truckee Downtown Merchants Association, and we're pleased to be a partner and appreciative of all that they've done with beautifying the downtown and bringing the merchants together. We absolutely love the Christmas tree lighting and the lights that are up for the holidays and all of the special events.
Hi, I'm Lynn Saunders, President CEO of the Truckee Chamber of Commerce. And the Chamber and TDMA have always had a very good relationship built on a lot of trust and mutual respect. And there's a lot of times that we have worked together. I specifically remember phase 1 of Truckee Tomorrow, where we were working on economic development activity and recruitment and retention of businesses. And we had Coffee Connection, where Alyssa, myself, and Tony Lashbrook once a month would meet with a couple businesses in the meeting room there at the California Welcome Center and talk about why businesses came here, some challenges that they had when they were trying to start their business, so that we could try and figure out if there was ways that we could make it easier for businesses to start here. And it was a really good relationship, really good partnership, three-way between the TDMA, the Chamber, and the town of Truckee. I've seen a lot of changes in TDMA over the years. The presidents have changed from Steph to Dean to Alyssa and Mike. And I think a pivotal time for TDMA was when they embraced the Main Street program. And at that time, they also, with the help of a facilitator, held a strategic planning session, really putting a clear focus on their mission and goals, creating some committees, and really put in a lot of hard work. And in fact, the Chamber was so impressed with the transformation of TDMA that year, we recognized them as Nonprofit of the Year in 2009.
Yeah.
I can remember when TDMA was first starting to think about a downtown festival and a meeting upstairs at Steph's office, and Alyssa was there, and Julie, and Donna Wood, and Dean, and we're all sitting there, and there was Shannon Peacock from the Pastime Club talking about how we can make Truckee Tuesdays a little better, and it was decided to be Truckee Thursday, hiring an event coordinator. And I remember Shannon saying, you know, I could probably do a little beer garden, and it's like, oh, that'd be awesome, Shannon, thank you. And it really just exploded from there.
Hi, my name is Mitch Claren. I'm the producer of the Truckee Follies. I've been producing the Follies, I believe, for 12 years now. I think it's 6 shows. The Truckee Follies is a fundraiser for the Truckee Downtown Merchants Association, also known as the TDMA, who we love. They allow me to put the Follies on, which is just a great thing. It's a Truckee tradition. The Follies is an amateur variety show loosely based on Saturday Night Live, dealing with mostly local issues, some international, some national. However, it's a great parody. It's great to live in a town that allows us to parody ourselves, and we get to laugh at ourselves and have a great time doing it. So TDMA is turning 50, which congratulations, that's a huge achievement. Most people die in my family before they're 50, so yay! The Follies, I believe, is 40 years old. Really appreciate the work the TDMA does in keeping downtown Truckee beautiful. The more beautiful downtown Truckee is, the more beautiful Truckee is. A rising tide raises all ships, and we love to see the work that they do. So I'd like to give a shout out to Donna Wood, who is super instrumental in me in my running the Follies, and she actually introduced me to my wife, so thank you, Donna. That's a big deal. And that was an outcropping of the Follies, which is an outcropping of the TDMA, so once again, thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Ballou from Bar of America. We're in Bar of America now. I moved to Truckee 30 years ago so that I could raise my kids in a nice small mountain community instead of the big city. We would walk downtown when the kids were very small, and they loved to swing in the swing in front of Earth Songs, which was right next door to Bar of America. We would walk down the sidewalk to the White House, and Elizabeth Flowers was in the carriage house then, and they would talk with Elizabeth and collect flowers. I don't think we've missed a 4th of July parade in the whole time we've been here. The kids love it, I still love it, and it's right out front of Bar of America every 4th of July. We enjoy Truckee Thursdays as well. Lots to do on Truckee Thursdays, and the Merchants Association, I think, has developed a lot of activities for downtown Truckee to bring people into town. It's easy to get here by bike with bike trails and the shuttles and so on, so downtown is very accessible to anyone in town. So come to downtown Truckee and enjoy all it has to offer and celebrate the 50 years of downtown Truckee and the Merchants Association.
Hi, I'm Mike Prezo, and I'm with the Cooking Gallery in downtown Truckee. I think about what the TDMA means to me, and being a part of the downtown, I go back to when the Cooking Gallery was in Tahoe City. We wanted to be a part of a vibrant community. Tahoe City was a little bit slow at the time. My father, who started the business, he decided that Truckee was the place he wanted to be. So we moved. When we came to the downtown, we were thinking, what makes this downtown Truckee so vibrant and such a great community? Well, we soon learned that that was the TDMA. I remember some members came to me and said, Mike, you got to be involved with the Follies. I wasn't sure what that was or what that meant, but I soon found out it was putting on a Superman costume and jumping up on stage and basically making a fool of myself in front of the whole community. It was a great experience. So what I find to be one of the strengths of the TDMA as a whole is the idea of working together. We're not just individual stores, we're a community, we're a downtown, we're a shopping area that we want people to come to enjoy themselves. You'll find old downtowns trying to revitalize themselves. The competition now is really stiff. Malls, the internet, if we don't give them a reason to come downtown and we don't look beautiful and we're not putting on that good face, then I don't know if downtowns can be economically viable. The TDMA has given us the opportunity and the tools that we need to be able to advertise together, to be able to bring the community together in a sense that this is the place you want to be. This is a place you want to shop. This is a place you want to eat. This is a place you want to live. Really, this is a place you want to raise your family. Happy 50th, TDMA.